Welcome back to In My Feels, the podcast where we literally do just that. This is a space for us to, yes, we're going to speak about business, but it's also womanhood, all the stuff that comes in between. There is nothing off limits in these conversations. Now, when I was thinking about doing In My Feels, I'm a serial yapper, right? It was just going to be chats between me and you, us just sharing the business journey and everything behind the scenes. But I was like, wait, I know a lot of bad bitches. Why would I not bring them in to have a conversation? But my biggest ick was I just didn't want to have like these formal interviews. I want to have conversations. I want it to feel so organic, because one thing that I will say about me and every single business owner that I know, we're all nutters. Like behind the scenes, we're silly, we're playful, we're sensitive, we're honest, we're like really cutthroat. And I want you to see those sides, not just the professional side, So my guest today, she's all of that. She's not scared to say her piece, say her mind, but let's just give her the intro that she deserves. Now, I met this woman only a few months ago. I will call this woman a friend for life now, because when I met her, she was like, look, I've got you. What do you need? How can I support you? And that's what this is about. But she is a mother of 3 beautiful daughters, incredible parenting, the way that she just is raising these women. Girls, sorry. She is a serial entrepreneur. She has businesses back home in the UK and in the UAE. She's doing incredible things. I'm going to let her share her story. She was on The Apprentice. She is literally a TV star. I'm blessed to be in her presence. Everything this woman stands for, I'm honestly a fan. So let's not wait any longer. Khadija.
Woo! What a pro you are. What an
Thank you.
absolute pro.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm not very good at introducing myself, so I actually love listening to someone introduce me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a big
that
deal.
me?
What?
I'm a big
Stop.
deal. You are a big deal.
No, I'm joking. You are a big deal.
No, but you are. And again, what I love is that, like, you speak about your business, right? Because so we should. We don't want to be like, oh, sorry, I have this. You speak about it, but it's like the woman behind it is just so, I don't want to say much more powerful, because it's all powerful, but like, you as a woman, you just stand for stuff, you speak up on stuff, you help people. You're just one of those people that you're not a selfish business owner. You are always thinking of the bigger picture, the bigger goal. Literally what you just shared before we even turned the camera on was, I've just helped someone who is young get into some workspaces. This is what it's about. Just give me a little like what you're up to right now, what you're doing now, and then we're going to get in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So right now I've got the global partnership here in the UAE. The company is based in the UAE, but as Cherelle knows, she's in our wonderful group and community is a better word. We have members from all over.
It's incredible.
And that's super cool. I actually just... You know what? I'm a real business geek. Like, I just love business.
Yes.
I love trade. I love the fact that like you can create something and you can sell something. I love economy. I just love all of that stuff. Like, I'm a bit of a nerd, to be honest. So I love that we've got business owners in South Africa, in Spain, in Saudi, in the UAE, in the UK, and we're all supporting each other. And the commodities and like business and everything that goes into running a business is the same wherever you are. But we're all facing different challenges. So we have that in the UAE, the global partnership.
And I'm just going to like shout out, like I've been in a lot of community spaces. And for me, I was saying this to you before, you drop one message in, everyone wants to help. And it's not just like, oh, support. It's like, okay, I can put you in touch with this person and that. Yeah, that your community is it. So
I love you.
Shout out.
Well, yeah, shout out. I call everyone legends, as you know. I literally use that word way too much, but it's fine because everyone in there are legends. Or I like to use hashtag hustlers with heart, because one thing about me in business is integrity and being honest and not snaking anybody. And so everybody in TGP, as you know, has to be a vibe. And if you're not honest, if you're not supportive, if you're neggy, if you want to bring people down, if you're trying to snake someone, then we don't want that. I have a no douche canoe policy. Douche canoe is like just a word that I like to use because it's not too offensive, but it's no douche canoes. Like, don't come in if you're going to be gross.
And I love this because as women sometimes we can be nice and like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay.
No, it's not okay.
Don't bring that vibe to my space.
Well, to be honest with you, Cherelle, I used to be like that. I've always been a people pleaser, but definitely the last few years I have stopped being so much like that, and I really vibe off energy. The global partnership, we have 130 plus members globally, and we're looking to have 500 by the end of the year, inshallah, God willing.
Yes.
And then in the UK, I've got soft play cafes, as you know, called Full of Beans, which I love. What you said off camera is that, Khadija, you're actually full of beans. And I'm like, oh my God, I am.
Literally 2 ADHD girlies just sat here like,
I love this for us though. What superpower?
No, again, it's such a superpower. And the fact that you're able to have multiple businesses, tell us a little bit more about that journey and what that's currently looking like at the minute.
So, well, as you mentioned, I went on to The Apprentice, and I didn't plan to be an entrepreneur. I had my eldest daughter, Soraya, when I was 24 years old, and she was sadly born with brain damage, which I don't talk about much anymore because she's almost 12, but she was born with brain damage. So I always wanted to be a lawyer because I'm good at arguing.
Yeah.
I'm good at standing my ground. I'm good at saying my piece, always for right, though. You know, never to argue just for the sake of drama, but for like, hold on a minute. I would, if I saw a year 9 bully a year 7 in school, I'm like grabbing that year 9, like, even if I was in year 6, like I'm not like up there, little me, like you can't do that. I've always had a really strong moral compass, and I think that was my stepdad that instilled that in me, and through Islamic values. So I've always very much known, no, that's wrong, and I'm not scared to say no, that's wrong. I wanted to be a lawyer. Everyone in school, my teachers told me I should be, so I did study law. I got a 3rd, scraped by, because I was working 3 jobs at Phones for You. Do you remember? Phones for for less. I was working at Phones for You, a shisha bar, and Pizza Hut. I worked on and off in Pizza Hut for like 6 years, and I hate the smell of dough and stuff now. But my God, it was the best lesson, especially now when I'm franchising full of beans. But we'll go on to that. Anyway, I studied law, graduated, moved back to Peterborough, met Simon, my kid's dad, and then had Soraya at 24. And unfortunately, she was born with the cord wrapped around her neck, which meant that she was born blue and lifeless, and she had 0 brain waves. So she was in intensive care for 10 days. I had her at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and by 11 p.m., she had gone in an ambulance to UCLH in Houston, and I'd had to go in a car. The most surrealist experience to give birth. No pain relief. I was too late to have an epidural, so no pain relief, felt everything, and then couldn't hold my baby. So for me, it was a massive traumatic time in my life. So she went to UCLH, 10 days in intensive care, and she ended up being part of this thing called a xenon trial, where they gave her gas. It was a trial that they were doing, and I had to make the decision whether to put her in the trial. And alhamdulillah, luckily, she got the gas and she had brain cooling, and she is a very smart, very healthy, mashallah, almost 12-year-old. But that time for me, so I was working at the Financial Ombudsman Service with my law degree. I hadn't gone on to become a solicitor. I took a year and I worked for civil service. And I loved working for the Ombudsman. It was near Canary Wharf, South Quay. So I got to, we were all doing like drinks in the evenings and stuff. And it was really nice. I felt like that boss babe. I was wearing my pencil skirts and I felt like a queen. And then I had Soraya, and luckily I got full maternity pay or whatever. But when it came to going back, I'd moved to Peterborough to be near family. That job was in London. So it was literally a quick cost analysis. If I have to get the train, then childcare. She was at risk of cerebral palsy, so she was still having tests at 9 months old. They came and checked her and stuff. So I was like, okay, so I leave my kid, I'll go back to work. I'm not going to make much money. My salary isn't going to cover all the childcare. What am I going to do? So I Googled a cheap business to start, and a cleaning business came up, and I spent £20 on cleaning products in Wilkinson's, and I ordered some flyers on Vistaprint, and I started cleaning houses with Soraya in a car seat. So I'd go to the houses, put CBBS in the house. It was people that knew, like Simon's parents or whatever, to start with. I'd take Soraya and she'd be cool watching CBBS. And after a few months, I was like, oh, I've got too many clients now. I'm really good at this, because whatever I do, I'm going to give 150%. 100%. So I got really good at it, and then I'd take feedback from the customer, and then I'd get better. And then I hired my sister. And then I hired my sister's friends. And I wanted to make sure that they could have a job during school hours, because no one was employing during school hours. So by the time I applied on The Apprentice, I had 30 staff, mainly mums, working 9 till 2. And doing cleaning jobs in between so that they could look after their kids. Because the biggest thing for me, and you said, the minute we met, I was like, I've got you. My therapist told me I'm the biggest empath. I look at people, I see the situation, I go, what can I do to make that easier for them? And I don't know why I'm like it. Maybe it's because I left home at 15. Maybe it's because my daughter was born the way she was. Maybe it's because I've had to stand on my own 2 feet, and there's moments that I wish someone saved me. And so now when I see that, I'm just like, okay, I can do something. I can do. And for me, that was employing people 9 till 2. Was it a great business in the end? Absolutely not. I closed it down after The Apprentice. I mean, the margins were awful. I had to pay travel pay, but the customer wasn't paying me. I hadn't figured it out. I didn't know what I was doing. I was winging it. But one thing I realized about myself, I called it Opal and Pearl. My birthstone is opal, Soraya's birthstone is pearl. They're both white stones. They connotate clean. So from the outset, I'm like, oh, I was good at branding. Like I was the vision. And then we were eco-friendly. I wanted to be eco-friendly. So we needed a USP. So I knew about USPs. But I'd studied law, I'd worked sales jobs, but I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur until all of these pieces started coming together. And then I'm creating the logo. Then when I went on The Apprentice, funnily enough, actually, I made it to the interview stage. Very proud of myself for that. But Mike Sutar interviewed me and he was like, I see that you've trademarked Opal and Pearl logo. And I was like, yeah. Like, what? I'm a boss. And then he was like, yeah, but there's like 6 different variants. And he brought out all these pieces of paper. And I'm looking at them. He goes, so the one that you protected is now null and void. I didn't know anything about trademarking.
Yeah.
I just thought, at nighttime I'd be like, I want to tweak that font. I want to change that thing. Oh no, once you've registered your trademark for that logo, that is your logo. Yeah. And if you want to change it, you've got to do the application again. So it's all of these things that you learn through entrepreneurship. But I mean, The Apprentice was in 2018. So the end of, 2019. So it was a long time ago, but a massive part of my business boot camp it was for me. So where am I at right now? Full of beans because I closed down the cleaning business. I saw an empty unit near my kids' school. Again, as an empath, I was like, us mums need somewhere where we can take our laptop, where there's comfortable seats, where there's charging ports, where the food is good and the coffee's great, and that we can see our children and it's not too big. Yeah. I felt like there, and it still is, there's huge 5,000 square foot soft play centres, or there's a Starbucks. But there wasn't anything that was meeting that need in between. And I love Friends, the sitcom, and Central Perk, the coffee shop. Everybody knew each other. There was that community vibe. I wanted to create that. So now we have 3 stores. We're franchising.
Yes.
Franchising queens here on the side. And we're scaling. But I've realized in the last maybe 2 years, the one thing that I'm good at is bringing people together. And so with the global partnership, I'm building a community. We're Full of Beans. I'm building a community. So what am I? I'm just a community builder. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I think we hear business and we hear all the other things we were speaking before this about numbers and this and KPIs and what, but it's like all of those things don't exist unless you have the people there, unless people are buying into something. And if we don't have this essence that we do, which is being able to connect people, being able to bring an idea to life, like the business doesn't exist. And it's so frustrating because, I work with so many women that are like, I've got this model. They spend months and months on the website, this, that. And I'm like, but do you know how to sell it? Not just sell it just to get money, but like to make people feel like, oh my God, I want to be part of this.
But also, do you know how to deal with people? I went to, shout out Tyre and Ash Real Estate. I went to Tyre and Ash Real Estate yesterday. Beautiful offices. And my friend Heather works with the team and she said, can you come and speak to the ladies there? So I did. And my first thing to the ladies was, you need to know how to be with people. And not to say they're not, they're queens, right? Yeah. But it's what people don't understand about entrepreneurship. When you raise an investment, you need people to invest in you as a human. So there's things that people are overlooking from the outset, like, are you a good listener? Are you taking in what they're actually saying? Or are you just thinking in my mind, ka-ching, ka-ching, what can I sell them? Are you trying to get a one-hit wonder now? Or are you building a long-term relationship? So I've been doing networking now, running networking events for 3 years. And I find it astounding when people say, well, I've been to a few of your events and like, I haven't got anything out of it. By the way, that happens few and far between because people get loads from my community. They say that. And I go, so what are you doing? Every time you've come to the event, you're standing with the same 2 people. And what I find, the people that are saying that are the ones that are lacking in people skills.
Yes, 100%.
And what we don't realise, I can tell you off the bat, you were the one in school that got told you speak too much. Yeah. You were friends with everyone. Cheeky. Getting kicked out of class. You were friends with everyone, class clown, all the different groups. That was me. Yeah. And so that was suppressed in school. It is. I loved my school.
You get shunned down. Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Yes, talking. Or Khadija, stop talking to them. Khadija, stop that. I was talking to everyone.
Yeah, I know.
That's networking.
Yeah.
And I was suppressed for networking.
And the ability to like be able to speak to different groups, different people, different ages. Like I would always be like just having a chinwag with like the head teacher, but like, these times I'm 12.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I was literally besties with my head. And the thing is, being able to be a chameleon and have something in common. So I said this 100%. Yesterday at Tyre and Ash, right? Live a fruitful life. Go and play golf, play paddle, go on holiday, do this, educate yourself, read about different religions and stuff. When I was in uni, I lived with 3 Indian girls, 1 Sikh, 1 Hindu, 1 Christian, and me, the Muslim. All 4 of us in the house. Wow. How brilliant for me. That's culturally. Gorgeous. Whoever I speak to, I could go, oh yeah, my friend's Sikh. Oh yeah, she told me about this. They taught me this swear word. They taught me that, And because you've got to be cultured, you've got to keep learning so that you have something in common with people.
Yeah.
Anybody that speaks to me, I can find a joint
with some, even, I mean, this is probably terrible, toxic advice and maybe we shouldn't listen to it, but it really showed me something in college. My acting teacher, because I did the whole performing arts thing. My acting teacher, yes.
Stop.
I went to what's this called, like a uni version, but my acting teacher at the time, I remember when people were asking Q&A style, like, you know, what do I need to do? And he was like, go and fuck more people. And I was like, what? And at the time when you're like 19, just generally praying for your life, you're like, oh, that's not quite the advice I wanted. But I understood exactly what he meant. Go and have experience, go and fall in love, go and have your heart broken, go and have expectations and then felt like trampled on, like all of these things. And again, we both have stories, right? It wouldn't make me the business owner that I am now and the ability to connect. And again, I think this is a huge part. I'm like, look, let's be clear. In my business journey, I'm probably going to have 10 different businesses. I've already had 4.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I ADHD, want to start a million different things and fine. But the through line always is community, is space holding, is feeling people. And you can only do that when you felt shit yourself.
Yeah.
You can't keep avoiding this stuff. And I feel like in entrepreneurship, a lot of the women I know because everyone's just like, I'm in this for life. Let me feel the feels. I want to feel it all. But a lot of people, when they're going into their business journey, they're like, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to let customers down. Like, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to know that you're going to disappoint
people. You have to
people.
get over yourself. That's what I'm going to say. I remember when I used to get a negative review for Opal and Pearl, and I can't believe they said I didn't scrub the sink like that. Now, if I get a negative review, I'm like, yeah, well, like obviously I don't want anybody to experience negativity in my business.
Of course.
Breath, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
But after The Apprentice, they must have been sending me a letter, some business finance that I had or whatever. And I came off The Apprentice. I had a mortgage at this point, 2 children. You go off, it's like boot camp. People don't realize that you don't have your phone. You don't come home. I didn't see my kids for 8 weeks, 2 months, and they were almost 4 and almost 2. It was a lot. But also, bills are coming in, and I've got, you know, my manager, she was running it, and Simon was helping out. But I came back off the show and there was a letter to say, basically, if you don't pay £15,000 in the next 7 days, you're going to get a CCJ. And I was asking, like, I just had to start asking, but then I was also embarrassed. I didn't ask. So I ended up not being able to get the £15,000 and got the CCJ. I cried for 6 weeks, non-stop. Oh my God, I got a CCJ. Oh my God, oh my God. And I couldn't raise 15 grand, and yet now I've raised almost $1 million. Like, what? How could I not? Because I'll tell you what changed: my mindset, my shift, my energy, my belief in myself. Every time something has gone wrong, like the CCJ or a bill I haven't been able to pay or a staff member that's left and caused me drama or whatever, every time that's happened, I've dealt with it. So you kind of get to the point where you're like, well, I don't know what more you could bring to me that I haven't already been through. But in the time, you're obviously so scared. But this is why the global partnership is so important. And this is why building your tribe is so important, because me and you have had some deep chats. And if you're going through something that I've already been, it will make you, I know, instantly feel better. If you go, let's say I've got to pay this or I've got to sort that, or I want to raise finance and I'm not sure what to do. And I go, yeah, don't worry about it, babe. Happened to me. Like, we're just now recording this podcast and the camera hasn't worked. I could have gone, oof. But I'm like, oh, you want to know what happened to me? When I first came to Dubai and recorded a podcast with someone who looked at me like I was a joke. All you need is a community of people that are like-minded, that get it. Yeah. And so when you're low, there's going to be someone in the global partnership that is going to say, been there, done that, let me help you, got you. Exactly. Yeah. Super important. Don't do it alone.
Yeah. So let's go on to that, because I had something at my apartment a little while ago, maybe like a month ago. And I basically bought my women here. I'm not doing a business thing out of it. Just get women in the room and let's just talk. And I remember going around the room, and this is kind of what I do for my retreats, classes, whatever.
By the way, she's hostess with the mostess. The food, the spread she put on, the vibes. And I don't really go to events that aren't my own, because I'm always worried about the vibes.
Same.
And I'm the same. I can't fake my face. Like, if I'm not feeling it. So for me to come to your house firstly,
I know,
and then to be around the women, I've got so much trust in you and your ability to read people. I knew everybody was going to be a vibe.
100%. And this is so funny because I also don't do the same thing. Everyone says to me like, oh, you're a community girl. But because of my community and what I built, I'm quite accustomed to a space and how it should be. So sometimes when I go to other spaces, I'm like, no one said hello, no one's greeted me, no one's had real conversation. You know, so these things you start feeling. Anyways, that day I was like, right, Cherelle, do the thing that you know best. Make people connected. And so, you know, as cheesy as it was my apartment, but I was like, girls, can we go around the room? Can we say a little bit about each other? And naturally, sometimes everyone's like, okay, let me say my best things. It got to me and I was like, right, this is where I'm struggling. And straight away, all of us was like, how can I help you? What can I do? And the conversation was just like, ugh, juicy. But let's go into this part. Some of the conversation was around stigmas, especially women in business. I feel like we are holding 10 times more than the average, I'm going to say man, because of, oh yeah, my mum as well. Oh yeah, but I've never, I've never got investment. Oh, I've never had this. Debt, this, that. And so I feel like women in business specifically are holding a lot of shame, responsibility, and stuff that feels like if this was any other circumstance, we'd just be able to ask for our needs and get it. Talk to me a little bit, again, based on kind of like your past friends, experiences, what it feels like to kind of do this journey alone and what then can happen as a result, and why you care so deeply about actually helping people. Because this is, listen, we have businesses and they thrive and great, but underneath it, there's like listen, I would do this shit in my sleep. I'd fucking help you if I could. Like, if it was my last penny, I'm helping you. Yeah. And also not because of, oh, I know you'll help me out later, because we got each other. Yeah. So that penny is my penny and your penny.
Also, I live my life on good deeds, and which is the equivalent to karma. 100%. And I genuinely think, like, I'm going to help you now, but Queen, you're on your way up, and I know you're not forgetting me.
100%.
Like the people that you vibe with, you're not forgetting. I'm not doing it for any intention. I just know you're a good person. I help you now. At some point, you're going to talk about me in rooms that I'm not in, and you're going to say, you need to join Khadija's group. Not because I've asked you to, or I expect it. There's no expectation. He's just what good people do for good people. Right. And that's it. Right. So I want to answer your question. I want to answer your point about raising investment. I think the problem is it's an energy thing, right? Yeah. So as an ADHDer, undiagnosed, but 100% tick every box, a thing for me is energy. And I'll go back to my childhood as well. I left home at 15. My mum kicked me out. She had to talk about that on The Apprentice. Awkward. But I don't blame her. Yeah. I was a mouthy 15-year-old. Are you surprised? But I always had a very strong moral compass, like what's right, what's wrong. And so mum would make some decisions, which now as a mum, I'm like, who was I to judge? Yes. But still, I left home at 15. That's my story. That's my journey. I used to not share about it out of not wanting to shame my mum, but it is also my story. So I am deserving of it's my truth. I have always vibed off energy. When I was younger, my mum suffered with depression. Really badly. I come home from school and she was on the floor, like, cutting her arms and stuff, and it wasn't nice to see. And I was the eldest of four and I had to be around it. Also, people would make jokes about my mum and I was very conscious of it, like Debbie Downer and stuff like that, and her name's Debbie, so it's awkward. Love you, mum. And my mum is actually the funniest person. She's an absolute queen, but she will own and say that she has struggled with mental health. So I was always very conscious from a young age that I didn't want people to feel the energy that my mum was seeming to give off. When you're around my mum, you feel depleted. And God bless her, she was raising 4 kids on her own. Like, how are you expecting her to behave? But I think subconsciously I was like, any room I'm in, everybody has to feel uplifted when I leave. And it was because of my experience. Everyone, and for my mum, I used to uplift my mum. She always says to me, Khadija, I feel better when I speak to you. And I'm like, love you, mum. But I just took on that role of uplifter. Yeah. And so me giving off energy is something that is really important to me, and I get complimented on it all the time. And I think that's super important. And I spoke about this yesterday with these women. I said, when you walk into a room, you want everyone to feel, woof. Yeah. Like, she is here, not arrogant, not cocky. Knowing. Just like, I'm here, I'm kind, I'm funny. I walked into Time Nash yesterday and I was like, oh, hey, why is it so quiet here? Come on, guys. And I was like,
I went to an event recently that Khadija was hosting, and the stuff she was saying on stage, obviously us girls were just in the audience and we were cracking up. You're just real, you're just on, and people just feel like, oh, I can breathe. Yeah. And that's, I call it neutralizing the room for my trainings. But like, if you don't speak to what's there, it's fucking awkward.
Are you talking about when I put lipstick on and I was just there?
Like, you was just cracking me up the whole time.
But you do make people at ease when you show a vulnerability. And now feel a responsibility. After The Apprentice, everyone said to me, wow, Khadija, you were so real. You kept it real. You were the realest on there. So I created a podcast called Keep It Real with Khadija. Why not? But back to the energy thing quickly, in that, like you said, when I was hosting, not only am I conscious of the energy I give out, I read energy like a sniper. I'm like a sniffer dog. Yes. I can now sniff out, not sure about that one, not sure. And I'll be nice to everybody. So when you're raising investment, these are the things you've got to think about. You've got to think about your energy and what you're putting out, but you've also got to gauge the energy of others. And the biggest energy you've got to give is the love and the belief in yourself. Because it changed for me from not being able to raise £15,000 to cover a CCJ to being able to raise almost £1 million. What changed? I believed in me. I stopped being scared. I realized, I love Emma Greed, because they said, have you ever had imposter syndrome? And she says, no, why? If not me, then who?
That's my
What?
saying.
What
That's
a
literally my
bar.
saying.
If not me, then who? Once I started, so I'm listening to her book now, Start With Yourself, but I started believing that a long time ago. When I came off The Apprentice, of people like, you should have won, you were the realist. The Apprentice gave me that. I knew that I had potential. I just didn't know how big I could be until I went on The Apprentice and I got rated. And then when I saw the psychologist on The Apprentice, she said, people will underestimate you, Khadija. She knew about everything, my whole life, leaving home, She went, people will underestimate you. So to all of the, and I know you're very, focused on women, and I love that. But for all of the women listening, let them, as Mel Robbins says, let them underestimate you. It is the best thing for people to think that you're not capable, and just prove them otherwise. Make sure that your energy is top tier. And you know what? It does take an element of, I said this yesterday in the meeting, Beyonce is Beyonce until she's on stage, she's Sasha Fierce. Khadija is Khadija until I'm hosting an event or on a podcast and I'm Khadiva. That's what they called me when I was on The Apprentice. And I'm not a diva in the slightest, as Cherelle knows. But the thing is, some days you're not feeling great. And some days my kids are a lot. My laundry's up to my eyeballs. I'm worrying about finances. The stores haven't done that great. I've lost a few members in TGP. Like, that stuff happens.
It's real.
But I have to show up. I have to bring that energy. I have to keep going. So the resilience and the belief in myself, the vibing off energy and trust in my gut, they're my biggest pointers.
People underestimating you. Now, sometimes I do think we have a chip on our shoulders, especially a lot of the women that I know. It's like, what? Why don't people support me? Da-da-da-da. And it's like not an expectation, but like I don't know, this entitlement. Well, people should support me. But the thing is, there's two things that I've realized. One, actually, and this happened to me over the weekend, and I say this with so much love. Please, no one that I know get offended and start messaging me, because it's not that deep. Basically, I did an event over the weekend and it was in front of 200 people. And I am new in Dubai. I am only just starting to get myself out there, and to do an event with 200 women and be the, opening act, it's a fucking big deal. Thank you. And yet I didn't receive one message or one congratulations. Now, that is not a dig at my friend. Love you lot. But there was this internal feeling of like, do people not care? And I really had to change. Again, mindset work is so real here. What I've realized in this one was actually, and I think this has to be a compliment, I mean, you have to see it like this. People expect it of you because you do what you do. People are like, well, duh. Like,
that's
it's
just
second
true.
nature.
I
And
know.
like, for you, you're like, this is so big. But they're like, I saw bigger. And this is what happens, I think, as women in business. We see our level here, but people are seeing our level here.
Yeah.
And it's us. We're getting in the way.
Yeah.
We're getting in the way of our next level and da-da-da-da. And the second thing that I learned recently, because I saw this reel and I was like, oh my God, this is it. If you haven't run a marathon, you don't know what it takes to run a marathon. I know people do the marathon. I'm like, well, good for you, babe, because I've not fucking trained for it.
Yeah.
However, look at how many people have never run a business, have never lost clients, have never. So when I'm saying to my friends or people that I know, like, oh my God, they're like, cool.
Yeah.
They don't understand. And so I think one, community is real here. You actually have to have people that get it. So you don't feel like a freaking psychopath.
Yeah.
When you're going through these things, you're having sleepless nights, whether that's finances, people leaving you. I've had clients come for me, all these things that are real, and I don't want to keep pretending don't happen in business. They happen, but you have to, like, how do I hold this, and how do I have people around me that can see me, not bypass, but see me for how hard this actually is.
Can I also say, just touching upon that, like you said, people haven't messaged you and stuff. I used to get really obsessed over likes. Why am I seeing all these people watching my stories, but no one's liking it? Like, your like or comment would really help my algorithm, which would help my business. So when you said people don't understand business, sometimes people don't understand that just liking and commenting could really help us.
Yeah.
But then on the other thing, what I've realized is, and I have to twist it now, I remember when I auditioned for The Apprentice, Ben, shout out Ben, love you, one of the co-producers was like, Khadija, look, I mean this in the kindest way, but this is not the Khadija show. Oh. And I was like, huh, what? And he was like, what I'm saying is, don't overanalyze everything you say or do, because only a small snippet of what you say is going to be shown, because we've got to get all of this over 4 days into a 1 hour episode. When he said that to me, I was like, oh yeah, it's not the Khadija show. Now, when I take it personally about the likes and the comments, I go, but it's not about you. Maybe that person has woken up this morning, they're not feeling great. So I've definitely, I mean, we spoke about this earlier, kind of off camera, in that I've lost close friends. Tragically, I lost my nan and I've lost people, you know, to natural causes, but I've also lost people to suicide. Yeah. And when you lose people to suicide, especially when you're the biggest empath like me, that eats me up to the core, to the point I was in hospital having body shakes and anxiety because I was having a panic attack because Khadija feels like she could save the world.
Yeah.
If I put my mind to it, I feel like I could save. And it's taken a lot for me to realize I can't save everyone. But all I can do is show my truth, be raw, be honest, not share. Yeah, look at all my wins. Let me share some of my shit. Let me share some of the bad things that are happening. Let me share my daughter's not had to brush her teeth for 2 days. Let me share that her gross. Let me share that she won't brush her hair. Let me share that this one's being mouthy. Let me share that my business lost money. Let me share that like my customer's not happy. I used to not want to share that stuff because I thought people would think that I was failing. But what I've realized is me sharing and being vulnerable and showing the world that I'm just a real person that F's up and helps them.
And also like is enabling people to buy into the brand even more. And like, this is not like I'm going to cry today on camera so that people do this and people, you know, but I shared recently and I haven't brought it to the podcast, but I went to an event. I pitched, which I know you was like, oh, go on, girl. I pitched on stage. It led to me having a one-on-one session with this incredible expert in franchising. And then Simon Squibb ended up following me, messaging me, like, what the fuck? And there was a real big part of me. I filmed this video and I was like, oh, is that going to lose authority? Is that going to... And I was like, no, are you crazy?
You gain respect.
Respect. And people are like, because it's real. Every business owner who is actually fucking successful knows how hard it is.
Yep.
And so if you have to... Listen, I don't have to show face for you because I know you get it.
Yeah.
The only people that you think you have to show face for is people who like have put you on a pedestal. And like I keep saying, put me on the pedestal then. If you want to have your own idea of me, fabulous. But that is not what it is. Real business is, God, you are facing yourself a million times over. And there is no workbook for this. There is no one-sided mentorship for this. It is just ongoing. Meet yourself again. How much are you willing to be tested? How much are you willing to keep going through?
And I want to just say this thing that I remember reading and it kind of changed the game for me. It was like when I was 25, it was like a meme. When I was 25, I used to walk into a room and wonder if they liked me. Now I'm 35, I walk into a room and wonder if I like them.
Period.
And so I've got to the point now, I walked in yesterday or I'll walk into any room. I don't care what you think. And people that are older, I love being around older people because older people go, oh, the older you get, the less of a fuck you give. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I love that. But I think for me, it was like becoming a mom, losing people, you know, all of that stuff. It kind of builds this, why did I stress about this stuff? And also meeting other legends and speaking to people and networking and seeing people that are further ahead. I always want to be the student.
Yes.
I learn from
I want to be the smallest in the big room. Yeah.
Not even the smallest, because I genuinely look at everyone the same.
Fine.
But that's another thing as well. I've met some celebrities that that I think have expected me to fangirl, and I'm not a fangirl person. I respect you well. Tell me how you did.
I love and like rate myself so much that like it doesn't matter what you've done, you're gonna learn some shit from me too. Do you know?
Also, I'm judging your soul, not your accolades. Like if you have, that's why in the global partnership I call everyone #hustlers with heart, because if you're a hustler but you're a douchebag, we ain't cool. And I can kind of, because of the energy and the ADHD, I can kind of sense, like I've been to networking events where I'll meet someone and straight away it's like I've done all this, and I just think
And also, like, they will be the people, again, we've spoken about this, they will be the people that be like, oh, I haven't really got much. Do you know, I've been to 3 networking events in the last month, not asked a single thing for anyone, just gone in there genuinely to see, how can I help you? How can I come to an event and think, okay, cool, don't know much because I'm in the UAE, I've only been here for 7 months, but like, you know what, let me think about how, and then connecting after. I can't go to any more networking events now because I'm at cap with the amount of people that want to do projects.
Also, because none will be better than the global partnership.
No, but period, because otherwise you'll just go into spaces, and this is what I teach anyway. Like, stop selling yourself.
Yeah.
Like, be the product. Like, be a natural environment. Someone said this to me the other day. She was like, usually I have to vet people afterwards, have another call. She was like, your essence, screams enough. I don't need to hear anything more.
And you know what the thing is, actually, you're saying that about you as a person. People have said to me that the reason that the Global Partnership has amazing people in it is because of the leader at the top. And then Full of Beans, our values are do the right thing, go the extra mile, share the knowledge. Honesty is the best policy. A lot of that I learned from the Financial Ombudsman Service when I worked there. But also a lot of that is like, that's who I am as Khadija. Like, I'm straight up. I might mess up and stuff, but I'm never doing anything with malice. Everything is always because I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm very honest with my investors. People say to me, how have you got investors? Like, how have you done that? Like, how are they invested in you?
Nearly £1 million, by the way.
Yeah, they're invested in me because they can see that there is no BS over here. I put a post up on Full of Beans the other day because Mondays and Tuesdays were really quiet. So I sent a message. I've got a full transparent WhatsApp group with all my investors in there. And I sent a message saying Mondays and Tuesdays are quiet, but don't worry, we're going to sort it out. So we just launched on our Full of Beans app, half price soft play, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays until the 1st of September. This is our quiet time during the summer. Our take-ins have gone through the roof on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays because I pivoted.
Amazing.
So my investors know that not everything is going to go smooth sailing, but Khadija's going to figure it out. And they say to me, Khadija, whatever you need, we got you. And why? Not because Full of Beans is a great business. It is, but because they see Khadija is so transparent that we are not worried. If it doesn't, I had to close a store. I raised investment for one of my stores, my third store, and I had to close it. And those investors are still in the business and we're pivoting now so that they go into group. But one of them said to me, do you know what, Khadija, you are the most admirable person because you could have said, sorry guys, you gave me 150K. The store didn't work out. You've lost your money. I go, don't worry. What we're going to do, we're going to work with developers who are going to fund the projects. You're going to still be part of it, but now you're part of the group. Everybody is going to merge from individual stores into the group, so everybody benefits. Just because you invested in the 1 out of 4 stores that hasn't worked out doesn't mean that you're losing. When you are part of Khadija and you've supported me and I've got goosebumps, don't think that I am leaving you for dead, ever. Ever. There is no way once you've backed me, I will remember that. If someone buys me a coffee, I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
I've seen this in business a million times. Not many people do.
Yeah.
So those small little things, I cried because someone gave me an hour of their time. What do you mean? Because we know what it's like not at the top, but just when you're doing the thing, people think, oh my God, sailing. Oh, you've made that much in revenue. You're killing it. Bruh. Behind the scenes, you're like, oh, I've got to pay for this. I've got to do that. The next part of investment means we have to do this. We have to take money from this.
We have to say
Cool.
Turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. This is what we said earlier.
100%.
We've got to stop with I see it on LinkedIn all the time. Also, I'm sorry, guys. I love you and I'm really proud of you for doing this, but let's stop with the 6-figure shit. I can't. Like, just give numbers. Show receipts.
I'll be honest. I even took it off of my profile recently because, listen, do you know how, and we were saying this earlier, it's 2 things, right? As a small business or whatever you want to call yourself, I am so incredibly proud. We are almost at 2 million in revenue. Amazing. But we know that revenue is revenue and profit is profit. Yeah. And, you know, when I did announce that, I didn't want to shy away from that because what a fucking achievement.
I know.
As a dancer who was broke, that is an achievement. But what it did do for people who don't understand business and just these kind of fake accolades was like, oh, Cherelle's got money in the bank. Cherelle's this, Cherelle's that. And like, I actually got a lot of shit for it.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I've now bowed down and I don't want to talk about it. No, I think women need more money so that we can do good things, right? Like, I'm going to back that to the death. But a lot of it is like smoke and mirrors. A lot of it also like gives you false expectations to keep meeting. And it's like, actually, do you know what? Now me and my accountant, we sit there month to month and we're like, the real profit, I'm like, that's what we're aiming for. Like, that is it. Like, if those margins are shifting and like this, I'm like, we're winning. I don't care. Like, turnover is turnover. Sometimes we've realized that we've taken in 10 times more 1 month, but it was still a huge loss.
Yeah,
or, you know?
So sometimes you could turn over less, but your profit margin is high.
Yeah, that's where we're at now.
So what we're trying to do, not what we're trying to do, what we are doing, I need to work on my language, is we are merging the investors from the individual stores to the group so that as we take on more groups or we're looking at acquiring coffee shops that add into the group, that the investors that were there born in my first store 5 years ago, that they benefit from the wider group. That's what I've always said. That's what I'll always do. But we're doing a cost analysis now. So I remember putting a post saying that you should definitely focus on your sales and generating more revenue. But you should also look at stuff that you're paying that you don't need to be paying. People miss that. Oh my God, I've been paying Squarespace website £37 a month for the last 18 months. I have not used Squarespace.
Literally 2 weeks ago, I said to my team, I was like, guys, we've been paying this Squarespace. 3. It was Squarespace
like,
campaign, Squarespace calendar. And I was like, guys, we don't use a calendar on Squarespace. We might have done that 7 years ago, but we haven't used.
I'm
Oh my
paying
God, all these features.
$98 a month for High Level. Shout out High Level. I'm sure you're great, but I've never used you nor had the time. And I'm paying $98 a month. So what
know.
me and Adam are doing for Full of Bees at the moment, we're doing like a cost analysis, because that, if you
all those little
do you know
tweaks
what?
really go a long
Also,
way.
you need to change your relationship with money, you know, because it's so easy to go, it's only £37. You know, because you've got 6-figure turnovers, 7-figure turnovers, you're like, it's only 38. But those little £38 here and there, all of a sudden, you should put a lot of energy in sales.
Can I
You need
admit to a subscription that I didn't even know that I had, that I'm literally like, what the fuck? And I don't even want to talk about the company because I'm fuming, but this company, to the point where I was so close to almost blaming it on my team, and I feel bad. Anyways, there's this random thing on my, and I'm like, what the fuck is this company? Anyways, I've looked it up and it's like a shoe brand. So I'm like, we've been paying for 7 years, £39 to this shoe brand. So I've gone.
What are you getting from it?
2 secs. So then I'm like, I'm emailing them. I was like, what the hell? Someone's obviously made an order and it's been a subscription. And anyways, goes to find out that I made apparently an order in 2021. And apparently if you order more than some kind of subscription, it auto enrolls you into like a membership. So for 6 years, I've been paying a membership for a shoe company. I saw the other day, I've got over £2,000 worth of credits. I mean, shout out the fact that I will now be
able to
wearing
get shoes.
But I was like, all these.
What size are
little
you?
things.
6? Tell me. Oh.
Sorry. To be fair, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even want to pick up the company.
Janet.
Otherwise, I would have said. But it's not even a bit of me. That's why I'm like, what the hell? But these little things.
Right.
For what? That's £2,000 that I've been spending on fuck all.
But then, right, this is what we do, right? So me and you have done the same thing. Now, every month, me and Adam sit down and we go through every direct debit that's going through.
Yeah. That's
Why
right
have I
now.
not been doing that for the last 5 years? God knows. Because you just think, oh, well,
Naughty.
we obviously need it. And you know what? It sounds like such a simple thing. And people will be listening going, are you dumb? Like,
I know,
why
like,
did
that's
you
what
just
you
do
should be-
that? Like, duh.
Also, like when you are turning over the amount that you're turning, like because
You're busy.
Yeah,
You're just busy. Spinning plates.
Also, like again, you see the money, you're like, oh, why not that subscription? Me and the team the other day was like, we've got like 4 of the same kind of subscriptions, like all these like hubs and stuff. I was like, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Not because it's penny pinching, but it's stupid.
No, it is penny pinching, and that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
You should be, right, business, one-on-one. What is business? Business is more sales and less costs. That's it. It's really not rocket science. Let's make more money and deliver a great service so
Yes.
people come back.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to touch upon, and you're really great at, is people don't focus enough energy, and I spoke about this yesterday, on customer retention. So they'll put all this money in social media ads and all of this to get new custom. What about that person that bought from you 3 years ago? Why are you not nurturing that? People don't nurture, and to keep the same ones coming back. I ran a retreat at Chewton Glen. Shout out Chewton Glen, it was beautiful. But one of the things I said to everybody at the round table was, you should want your customers to buy and buy and buy until you die. And actually, even after you die. This is it. And the whole retreat, we were going, buy, buy, buy till I die. Buy, buy, buy till I die. Because that's the
I
thing.
literally call it ride or die clients.
Yes.
So
they'll buy into the membership, and then they'll buy into the retreat, and then they'll buy into this. Or at Full of Beans, you know, now we're running family fun days every 3rd Saturday at Full of Beans. Our top visiting customers will be invited, and we'll give away freebies and make them feel VIP. Please, business owners out there, focus your energy on new customers, but focus a lot of energy on retaining the customers you have. Because what is the point? Because you could do an ad spend for £10,000 and get like a bunch of new customers, but you might lose them next month if you're not nurturing them.
Yeah.
And the ways you could do that is apps, WhatsApp groups, email campaigns, something where you're bringing them all together.
Yes. And then again, the upsells, like I think it's really important. Again, this is something that I work a lot with my clients, is like ecosystems. Like where do they funnel into from? How do they keep? And also don't force it. Like there's nothing worse, I feel like, than when if I'm working with a space, a brand, a product, and it just feels like no, like I've had my service here. I don't need 10 more things for you to sell me to. Gauge the room a little bit better.
But yeah,
like,
and also you don't want to be accused of pitch slapping, which is like every time you open your mouth, oh yeah, I've got this thing now, I've got that. So I don't do that
but again,
either.
I think that's part of reading a room, like
Being
knowing,
a people person.
Yes, knowing, okay, great. The fact that both of me and you are franchise now, I think that speaks to itself. Like I've built 11 franchises in my first year because people bought into the brand. You know, they were my students. They were then buying retreats. They were buying classes. Now they have bought their own brand. Like, but you have to have an essence when you're building something of why would people stay? What are you doing that makes people feel like they're part of something?
Yeah.
Because when you feel like you're part of a home, you're part of a space, you're like, I back this to the end. And the thing is, and I've made real peace with this, it's okay if they leave as well.
Yeah.
I always say, but you'll be back. Like,
oh my God. And that happens. My manager, Adam at Full of Beans, he won't mind me saying, I've known him since I was 12. 8 months ago, he left Full of Beans because, we are hospitality. So we're very busy at the weekends. He wanted a 9 till 5 office job. So he left for the 9 till 5. I was fuming. Obviously didn't tell him that. Well, he can read me like a room. So he left for 8 months. Do you know what? Best thing, because I had to figure it out. Each store then had to run independently because I live here. So what can I do? The manager signed a new contract. They had to be in charge. He's come back into the business. I went, oh, you hated it. You love me. You love me. Get back in. But he's back in.
Yeah.
And even then, before, because he was with me for 3 years, he opened the Wembley store. He did the entire fit out and stuff. So when he left, it was a real sucker punch. And I know it wasn't personal, but it felt it. Now he's just gone on holiday for his birthday. He won't mind me saying he's gone on holiday and he was like, oh yeah, I just want to set this up so they're okay while I'm away. I went, don't want to be rude, dads, but they were doing fine for 8 months when you weren't here. What? No, but I love him and I'm so grateful for him to be back in the business. He's my area manager. He's amazing. I'm not discrediting what he adds, but I am definitely much better. I used to think when staff left Full of Beans, it was a rejection thing.
100%.
When members leave TGP, why? What have I not done enough of? But what I've realised is everybody is going through their own journey. Maybe in that moment, my
It's just
69,
too much.
it's too much. Or they're doing
I've
other
been in
things.
spaces that I absolutely love, but just capacity wise,
I can't afford it right now. I've got
can't afford it. My brain space can't be in it. Like it's just too much. And so I've really, really made peace, because there was maybe like a 6-month space where it happened, like all students were leaving, and you kind of take it a little bit personally. You're like, oh, what am I not doing? And then you make it about yourself, and then your vision stops being big. Your mission is.
But you need to remember what Ben said. It's not the Cherelle show. Like
it's not
it's because of them.
And I see this all the time now with my clients. Stop making it about you. And also, well, we call it like the blue ocean strategy. When you're just focusing on the red ocean, you're not thinking about the new ways. I had a client recently say to me like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like all my OGs, they're leaving or they're complaining. And I'm like, if you just keep focusing on just them alone. So yes, I believe in client retention, but I'm like, you also can't keep adapting your model to keep people around.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
It's okay if people want to leave. They'll come back.
Yeah.
I kind of say within Hills and Feels, sometimes there feels like there's a cycle. You come in scared, shy, a little bit insecure. You then meet your people. You then feel confident. Okay.
You don't need me anymore.
You don't need me. Okay.
Yeah.
And there will be spaces where 3 months time you see my event and you're like, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Some of my girls will say, I haven't been to your class for 3 years, but I come back and it's home.
Yeah.
Like, I know the exact feeling I'm going to get. And for me, I'm like, I know.
Do you know what? But that says something so much about you as an entrepreneur and a leader. And I've realised that as well. Like I've been burnt. We've spoken about this. We've both been burnt. Yeah. But how do you carry yourself when that happens? Now, the Khadija from back in the day, different Khadija to the one you see now. I would have burnt bridges. But now I'm just, shut up, Rob. Khadija would have been like, shut up, Rob. But now I'm like, people don't even know about some of the things that have happened to me and what people have done the last few months, because I don't need to speak about it. I carry myself in a way.
Some of my friends will say to me, Siege, like, I know what you've been carrying behind the show and I've seen you on Instagram show up completely different. That's not to say that we lie.
No.
That's not to say that it's false.
It means we have integrity.
And also like, exactly what we said earlier, karma. I just trust the good that I do in the world. And like we say, sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you make decisions that you're like, damn, we could have thought about this. And I'm not exempt from getting it wrong. Just because I'm a great leader does not mean that I might get shit wrong. But there's integrity. And if you fucking do me over and you do me wrong, I don't need to come back to your shit for me to have a one-up over you. I'm good. I'm going to trust that God has got me and that he will just remove every part of you from me. I don't need to know. I don't need to be in your space. But if you do me dirty, we cut ties.
Also, I'm religious, I'm Muslim, but also very spiritual. And we were saying off camera before this, personal girl drama. I've been separated with my kid's dad for a year now. And, we've been going through the mill like everyone does. Let's keep it really real here. We've been going through the mill. And the other day, some drama happened, personal drama. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not having this. No, that's it. And I blocked it out. Do you know what I did? You're all going to think I'm crazy. I went on Talabat, which is like Just Eat in the UK, and I ordered hairdresser scissors. And I went in the bathroom of my hotel room at 1 o'clock in the morning
bangs.
and I cut my own fringe.
I've literally been perving over you. I'm sorry, but these last few videos every day, I'm like, yeah.
Right. I cut my own fringe, right? Then I messaged Alan, my hairdresser, shout out Tara Rose Salons. And I was like, Alan, I've done a thing and I've cut my own fringe because I'm so ADHD. But I was like, nah, new me, new haircut. I can't even wait till the morning. I can't even wait till the morning's gone. And when I was younger, my mum couldn't afford to go to the hairdressers, right? I remember the first time I met Simon, he came to my house, I was cutting my mum's hair in the hallway. So I've always like cut hair. I'm not a professional, but like, I could do a straight stuff. I used to drive to Chippenham from Peterborough and cut my nan's hair, best her soul. These are her rings. So I've always cut. So I was like, I'm all doing the scissors, I'm doing the fringe. Then I'll ask Alan to fix it, but I need it done now because I needed to cleanse. And that was my cleanse. Like, fringe is gone. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it. And now it might sound like I had a Britney moment. I wasn't shocked at myself about this because I'm not an erratic behavior person. I show up, you see me, I'm like cool, calm and collected. I don't drink, I'm out, I'm just doing my thing. But in that moment, I knew what Khadija needed. And I didn't want to tell anybody that I cut my own fringe because I thought that they might think she's actually gone nuts. But I hadn't gone nuts. I needed to do that thing. That was the thing for me to move on.
In you, yeah.
6 hours later, however many hours later, I go into my banking for Full of Beans, and then I go into one of the stores. So we're merging all the income into the group store, right? Yep. So Full of Beans Peterborough now, money's not going in there. Full of Beans Bourne, money's not going in there. And I just casually go into Full of Beans Peterborough just to check. £5,000. It's just happened to be in there, but the account was supposed to be empty. So I'm like, wait, what? 13th of May, because I hadn't checked it, we must have been owed some payments from our old card provider. And then, so there was payment after payment, £5,000. So I went, Allah, you love the bangs. You love the bags. You love the energy that came with the bangs. Yeah. You love that I blocked all of this, like physically blocked, like I will physically blocked on online, but also, and I'm not talking about my kid's dad, by the way, I'm talking about other drama, but that I physically blocked, but my energy was blocking. So when my energy blocked that negativity, £5,000 came as the reward. Cherelle, it gives me goosebumps because I let you go, shukran Allah. Thank you, Allah. Then I go around Dubai Mall and I'm doing my errands, whatever I needed to do. I'm very much like, don't need a man. Been in a relationship since I was like 16. Met Simon when I was 22. We have a great relationship. We're co-parenting, but I just don't want depth. I don't want a responsibility of a relationship right now. And I just want to focus on myself. And I feel like Allah and the universe are agreeing with me because the minute that I started putting that out, oh my days, like all of the things were happening. We've had 5 new members, as you've seen, in like the last 48 hours. Yes. All of this stuff happened like 2 days ago. Yeah. So how can I go from 2 days ago crying, oh my God, what have I done? Am I a failure in my personal life? I've got 3 kids. Am I showing up right? What's best for them? To going, I'm cutting myself bangs. I'm blocking out this energy. There's £5,000 just landed in my account. I've just got 4 new members. Like, I swear to God, there is something inside your body. 100%. The minute you go, I am getting more, I'm doing more, I'm not letting you drag me down. It's not happening, but you can't just say it. You have to intrinsically believe it. And the physical shift happened and now I'm here with you. And then I'm doing this and doing that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I know that was a bit raw, but that's what this is all about.
That is, honestly, I was really struggling my first few months in Dubai because I'm a fucking go-girl. Like, I'm always on the move. I'm always doing stuff here, there, everywhere. I was just here grieving what I've just left behind, navigating so many different things. You know, okay, we're really focusing on the business model. So I was just like zoning in. And so I kind of, it's lonely sometimes, you know, when you're in a new space, your own space where no one's really around. Like, so the first few months of Dubai, I was like, ugh. But then I was like, okay, it's enough now. It's enough. I swear to God, I went back home for my birthday and I came back in 3 weeks. I think I've been to 3 events. I'm now at absolute cap. I'm here, there and everywhere. I've got new projects. I've new money coming in. And I'm like, that was just a physical shift.
It was.
And that's why people don't like, you can focus on the strategy and the implementation and this and that. And all those things are very real in business. I definitely don't think you can manifest your way out of everything, right? You know, like, and I know we know this because we have.
I feel like Kim Kardashian says she's a pro manifester and she's had, you know, shit happen to her, obviously. But there is something about that.
Yeah.
And but for me, it's prayer. I believe in that as well. Like I trust in Allah, you know, even when times are hard lately, which I never used to do before, when times would hit me hard, like the CCJ and stuff, I'd be like, oh my God, poor me. Now when times are hard, I'm like, Allah's got me. I'm going to do what I need to do, because you can't just be like woo woo, you know, like,
and it comes back to that saying, like, I use this. It was my whole slogan for my last event. If not me, then who? And if not now, when? Like I say this story all the time, but I did these reels, if not me, then who? And it was just that. And that was the whole mantra of this event that I was doing. And then anyways, I'm on this walk and I'm debating. Basically, it was the 3 weeks before I left to come to Dubai. And it's very similar to what's happening now, but I'll get to that. I wanted to throw a conference, but I had 17 days. And I was like, I don't know, it's a bit much, it's a bit this and that. I'm on this walk, and this was like my deciding walk. Like, just go for a walk and clear your head. Maybe this is just not meant to be. And as I'm walking, this woman's walking towards me. I have the picture. And on her fucking t-shirt, it says, if not now, when? I bawled my eyes out.
Signs. Oh,
and I was literally like, God has spoken to me. Like, and I held this event. I had 50, 60 people in that room. It was incredible. I made £20,000 off the back of it because I upsold in the room. It was insane. And now it's funny, me and my girls, we're doing an event in a couple of weeks, and you know, naturally this is what we know from the back end, trying to secure the venue, and then the venue saying yes, but then they said no, and then this and that. And we're 16 days before this event, we still haven't got ticket. And I'm like, we could focus on that stuff, or I could focus on like, if it's not me, then who is it?
Yeah.
And if it's not now, then when? Because we can keep delaying it, and we can go, and it might not be the biggest success ever, but it's going to be a fucking start.
Oh, let me tell you something that'll make you feel better about this. So before The Apprentice, I booked the Ball Hotel in Peterborough for like 80 people, and I had arranged speakers. And so I had so I must have been entrepreneurial. Well, I was. I had my cleaner business, but I had a blog called Diary of a Mumpreneur. Bless me. If you see the little blogs that I used to put on Facebook, it was so cute for me. So this is probably like 2015. Diary of a Mumpreneur. And I knew then I wanted to get women together, right? So I booked this Ball hotel room. All the chairs are out. I pay out of my own pocket. I get like 8 speakers, like local ladies. Not one person turned. Not one. There was the front row, maybe 9 people, all the speakers, and maybe they bought a +1. That was it. The room, you know, like empty chairs, row after row after row. I was also meant to go to one of my uni friends, one of the girls that I live with. I was meant to go to her wedding, and I didn't go because I was like, I've got this massive event. And it was an Indian wedding, and I love Bangla. I'm there like, what? Yeah, so I used to be that girl doing all the back. They were like, oh my God, Kay, you're so white, but you're not. So I couldn't go to her wedding, and I loved her up. And then I'm at this event. One of my speakers had come all the way from Sheffield. And I remember actually, shout out Noor Hibbert, because she came. And I remember her saying something to me. I was they could all see on my face I was humiliated. Like there was all this food and like no one there. Had goodie bags and everything. Now I could cry. But Noor Hibbert said to me, Khadija, it's happened to me, don't worry. She had that act of kindness. So she'd come all the way to Sheffield, paid for her own train for what? But they all connected, actually. We made the most of it. She gave that olive branch to me to make me feel better about what was the catastrophic failure. And then, when I meet you, you know, you're in a much further along than I was. But when I meet anybody and I'm like, no, I've got to do that, because how did that make me feel in that moment when I was mortified. Now I host 100 people events in Buddha with Chris Vader's a special guest, and it's like water off a duck's back. I could fill an event in a heartbeat, as can you. But imagine that I believed that I was incapable, and that was it. And that I could never run an event again because it was the most mortifying.
I had the same thing with my early dance classes where no one showed up, and this is so frustrating for people in business. Like, I don't know, maybe you're not securing clients, maybe people aren't booking the tickets. Like, get over it. Like, get over it and get on to the next one. Sell the next one.
Wake up, new day.
Because like, if you make that mean something about you, that's it. That's it. That's your story now. You literally are seeing in motion 2 people where no one showed up, no one's paid, debt, this, that, all these things that are very real, and you get over it and you get to the other side. And it's
humanitarian personal lives.
Yeah.
Boyfriends, relationships, family fallouts, friends that aren't supportive, all of that comes. That's what I think also sometimes people need to realize, like, entrepreneurs are still humans.
Yeah.
Like we might be able to have like a lot of resilience and a really strong front, like I said, Sasha Fierce and Khadija, when you have to. But deep down inside is just this 15-year-old girl that left home that wants to make something of her life.
Especially if you're an empath, like you
And
feel
you're an
this
empath.
deeply.
You
like,
feel it deep, so
God,
deep.
I'm so sensitive.
I know.
Like, I can make calls and decisions that are great for the business, but like underneath it, I'm like, how will that person feel? What would it be? And not because we've stemmed from being a people pleaser, but because I want the best for everyone. And sometimes, unfortunately, in business, you can't think for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, okay, long term, Cherelle, what is it that you're trying to create? You know, businesses for other people, you know, more community, more student. Sometimes if we have to make cuts, if we have to do certain things, I have to think bigger picture. I can't save everything and everyone.
But I think you have to, like Emma Greed says, start with yourself. I've been doing therapy for the last, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah.
And my therapist said, Khadija, if Soraya, your daughter, said to you, Mummy, I don't feel like I can do that. Mummy, I'm too scared to do that. Mummy, this didn't work and I don't want to do it again. What would you say to her? And I'll go, you are strong. You can do this. You are beautiful. You are capable of whatever you want. If you want to be an astronaut, you could be an astronaut. And my therapist said, okay, so that energy that you give out, I need you to bring it back to you. So she was like, I literally want you to rub your arms like this when you're feeling in that place of like, Khadija, you're not good enough. Khadija, you failed. Khadija, this. I want you to rub your arms and go, no, Khadija, you got this. You're all right. Because little Khadija inside, this is what my therapist said, little Khadija inside is this vulnerable girl that is just trying to make something. Came from not a lot, universal credit, council house, mum struggling, hand-me-downs, worked since I was 15 years old, multiple jobs. And she was like, I just want you to be kinder to you because it's great as an empath to give it to other people, but you've got to give it to yourself.
And actually, what does that really mean? Like being an empath for everyone else, it doesn't really mean shit if you can't actually apply that for you and being the person that you need, because we know like there's
and you've got to fill your cup to be able to help others.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling great, you're not going to be best for everybody else. You've got to, as Emma says, start with yourself.
100%. Well,
we could go on forever.
yeah, I feel like I could have this chat for
I love you. Yeah.
But girl, I love everything that you stand for.
Thank you.
Even though we've both been in this game for a long time, I feel like it's the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh my
mean?
God, that's how I feel. It's
that
just
feeling
going
in my
up.
stomach is like,
I know.
ready. So I'm so excited to see everything that you're doing. I'm so excited to I feel like we're really just in a space where we can just like, come on, girl, champion, you know? So I'm in full awe of everything that you're doing.
Before you wrap up, can I just give you a big up as well? Because I've been in Dubai for 3 years and I meet some incredible people, but there's not many people that I have met since being here that I'm just like, that's my girl. And the minute that I met you when I came to Hills and Fills, I wasn't in a great place, business-wise, great place. Personally, as Khadija, not feeling myself, not feeling good, lacking in something, maybe romance, maybe this, maybe that. And I came to your class and these yummy sounds that you make, honest to God, I don't think you realize what that does for a woman. I'm actually going to cry because I came into your room and I felt really crap. Oh my God, as if you made me cry. But I came and it is hard and I've got young kids and I feel like I'm always in like go mode. And that class that I came to of yours, I looked at you and you made us all feel so incredible. And I left thinking, oh my God, I'm Khadija again. And so I don't think you realize how much you're doing for people. And yeah, no. No, because I think it's really important to say because it's dance and it's sexy and it's fun. But every time a woman walks out and you get them to walk across the room and do their strut and we were nervous and we were scared and you're like, girl, you got this. And I was like, yeah. And I just knew in that moment, I need this woman in my life forever. And whatever she needs from me, I've got her. So thank you for having me. Thank you for uplifting women. And I left and like, I obviously I'm now spending more time in Saudi, but I'm like, we need to bring Hills and Fills there because I need it. But I love you. I love what you stand for. I love what you're doing. Never change. Always be real. Always be your authentic self. You are a very rare human being. And your light might be too much for some people, but let them, as Mel Robbins says, your light for people like me is what I need in my life. So thank you. I love you.
Girl, I love you. Thank you so much. Come on. We're going to stop there. Literally the season, this episode, everything in your feels. And this is exactly what it is. Yes, we're strong. Yes, we're powerful, but we're allowed to have a little cry and just recognize like, you know, someone else is representing a part of us. I see you, your mission, everything that you're doing, you know, being ballsy and asking for it. And I'm like, Cherelle, why was you ever playing small? You know, so there's so many things that we're going to see in different people that we just kind of forgot in ourselves. So
And I'm so proud of you, by the way, for standing up there and pitching, because we literally had that conversation in your apartment and I was like, you go get your money, girl. Go get your money so that you can grow and scale to where I know that you're going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. Love you.